Hello, folks. Welcome to Monday Night Warhammer. Finally, mostly back to how I was. I was actually just coughing like mad before I came on, so we'll see how that goes. Sorry, I think we're a couple of minutes late to start. Apologies for that, folks. Let's see if we can get through the intro nice and quick to solve that problem. I'm Sam. This is Telling Tales. Thank you for joining us for some roleplay tonight. So we do dark, atmospheric roleplay here on Telling Tales and stream them on Twitch and now stream on YouTube as well. Not this series, but future ones will be. And some series are now on YouTube streamed. Everything goes up on YouTube afterwards, so feel free to check all that out. It's great. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos there, loads of amazing roleplay content, all sorts of different systems. Below are all our links to social medias and Discords and Patreon. If you fancy supporting us, thank you to those who do. And yeah, tonight we're going to be playing some Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition, so thank you for joining us. If you are joining us now for the first time, it's a bit odd because it's the last episode, but I mean, feel free to watch this and none of the others if you want to, I guess. Don't leave. I'm not saying leave, but definitely go back and watch previous ones at some point as well. So Warhammer Fantasy, everyone knows what Warhammer is. Fantastical, dark, gritty, murdering of peoples and deaths and lots of monsters, and everyone's fighting each other. It's fun. Yeah, let's, without any further ado, get on to a bit of a recap. So why don't we bring on Jonny? Jonny, who plays the dwarf Okri. How you doing, Jonny?
Not bad, not bad.
Good. Yeah, do you want to give us a bit of a recap before we do Okri? We can just enjoy Okri's art while the recap goes on.
Yeah, I'll start with what happened with Okri last session and see if I can remember anything else. So Okri was in a little bit of a bad way following the previous fighting with all kinds of weird demonic, probably Nurgly forces.
It was specifically the abomination creature that really did you in, didn't it? Or did your arm in, I should say. Quite well.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with that for about a day now, nearly, or at least a whole night.
Yeah, so I had what's it called, a severe wound or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember the terminology.
Critical
so basically,
wound,
so I had 2 bleeding conditions at the time. I think it was lacerated arm or something like that, my condition that I had. So I had 2 bleeding conditions at the time, which we sort of patched up, but you have to get specific medical attention, basically, and get it sewn up for that not to potentially recur if you get hit again. So I went off to my friend in the woods, who is now...
I'm going to butt in now. We're about halfway through the session, so I'm going to skip back.
Okay.
We finished the combat. There was a bit of a combat going on in the town, and then there was the bit with because I remember you spotted the burning bag that Henrik was carrying.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. That was the little assassin lass who tried to escape. So that was all the same evening. You captured her. Well, you captured her ashes. You got the stuff back from her. You found Taltha was still alive, who's the guard captain. Then you went to the tavern, had a good old rest and some food, thankfully. Then the next morning, you decided to go get your arm treated. So off you go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So went to get my arm treated by the closest thing now to a licensed medical practitioner in the town. And the was he a Knight of Ulrich?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Knight of the White Wolf, Knight of Ulrich. You could kind of say both, but officially Knight of the White Wolf would be the way to describe him.
Who I think Kruger had spoken to previously. The situation looked to me at first glance as if he was maybe being aggressive towards this woman. She kind of was like on the ground, almost looked like she was pleading, if I remember correctly. Got closer, and I was going in to sort of potentially defend her. And then it became apparent that she was under some kind of spell or curse or something along those lines. So then I went back to town and got everybody else to come back with me. Before that, the bad smell, was that before? I think, did I touch her?
Yeah, I think you did. And then
I think I put my hand on her shoulder and there was, So then I went back to get everybody.
Yeah.
But I sort of resisted the urge to vomit and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, went back to get everybody, came back. They couldn't smell this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me.
It was an experience only you had,
Yeah. Then she ended up dropping an item.
Mm-hmm.
Boniface did some Winds of Magic
Mm-hmm.
to clear this thing that was going on around.
She gave Henrik a mighty ragdolling with whatever forces were around her as well before that happened. But yes. Boniface managed to clear the air effectively. Little carved raven. That's
little carved raven.
Mm-hmm.
And then seemingly sort of freed from this thing, we took her inside. She then said that she would like some time alone, and I went outside, but the others that noticed that maybe she hadn't been quite telling the truth about knowing what this raven thing was, decided to stay and maybe ask her some questions.
Yeah, they basically confronted her, and she effectively admitted that she's a witch, which is not really very legal, or not legal at all in the Empire. Punishment ranges between banishment and burning, so not great.
Do I remember correctly that somebody sort of warned her that there was probably an
Inquisitor on the way? Yeah,
on the way.
I think Henrik was the one who warned her of that.
Yeah.
And so she decided she was going to leave. Basically, she started packing up almost immediately, I think.
But I did get stitched up.
You did before that point.
Yes.
Number one priority for Ockery.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, she's a nice woman who was under a spell and is now fine, and there was no. She didn't know what was happening. No ulterior motive.
Please don't leave. There's no medical people in this town anymore.
Yeah, that's going to be awkward.
I think that's about it. Then you just kind of went, okay, are we going to the first and wreck?
Yes, we were going back to
the end of the session.
The house. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Perfect. And who is Ockery, Jonny?
Ockery is a dwarven smith who has set up here. He's set up his forge here. So all of this stuff that's been going on, it's maybe slightly more personal for Ockery than some of the others, as this is the place that he's taken to be his home, and he kind of wants to defend it and make sure that there are still people to buy his wares.
Absolutely. No point having a smith when everyone around is dead.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Cool. Let me just check the order of the people. John is coming on next. Hey, John.
Hello.
And hey, Henrik. Who is Henrik, John?
Henrik is an investigative rat catcher who was not, in the end, has not currently found direct influence of the strange humanoid rat creatures that live under the surface and direct all human affairs. Yet.
There's a but here.
But he hasn't really finished the investigation, and just because he hasn't found evidence doesn't mean they weren't here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was definitely an assassin here. Now no longer here. Now a pile of ash, but there was an assassin here.
I mean, I would argue still here, just less effective as an assassin.
I feel like someone's probably sweeped her up by now. But yeah, that's Henrik and most of what Henrik is thinking about.
Yeah, I love it. Excellent. Thank you, John. Okay, let us bring on Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
How is Kruger?
Kruger still has bruised ribs from a very early session in this adventure.
Oh, yeah, that one you can't get surgery for. It just stays.
No, it's 5 days, and we've only had like
2, maybe 1.5.
If that,
if that, we've only slept once.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Well, now you're like middle of the day, so yeah, it's probably gonna be like 1 day. You're right. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I think we arrived here, and then
Mhm.
the morning after was the funeral,
Mhm.
and then we had to go find Boniface, and then
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
was set
Well,
on
you had
fire.
one.
Yeah.
That was the one sleep leveling problem, which I didn't foresee in my plot line, foolishly. Flawless,
Excellent.
otherwise.
Yeah, so Kruger is a soldier. He's from Middenland originally. He's traveling around trying to gain in strength and experience to be able to take that knowledge and fight the Beastmen of the North. He's trying now, having had a bit of a work experience thing between the last arc and this one, of seeing what the Knights of the White Wolf have to offer. He's trained with them for a bit, so currently that's his aim.
Mhm.
But yes, he's got bruised ribs and for all sorts of abominations that he's not seen before.
Mhm.
Um,
It's been a busy
so
night.
yeah,
Yeah,
so there we are. Still got the hat though.
Very important.
Yeah.
It's probably just looking a bit more beat up, even more than that.
Except, as we know from all of his perception rolls over the past 13 episodes, he hasn't been wearing it.
No, he's never specified he's not wearing the hat on the helmet.
Oh my god!
That's
Does that work?
that's a good point.
You definitely put the feather in the helmet. I'll say that because that's very
The sides could be inside and just really push down.
I mean,
That's-
if I'm
that's
wearing
why
the
he
helmet
takes-
on top of the hat, the brim would definitely.
That's why you get the disadvantage to
Yeah.
perception. Yeah.
Has anyone noticed
All
how
makes
Kruger
sense
just seems
now.
to be swinging wildly? You sure he can see in there at all?
Hey, he's a knight. If he couldn't see, surely he'd take the hat off.
Oh gosh.
That will never happen.
Anyway, let's bring on Justin, who plays Boniface. Originally Kruger's servant, and now wizard. Well,
I mean, some things never change. In the words of that lady off Matrix.
who is Boniface, Justin?
Who is Boniface? Boniface is a student wizard. Hopefully not a student wizard for too much longer. He practices the art of grey magic, which I think is Ulgu. And that means he's tricksy. He's tricksy and false.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was a servant, he was also rather slippery as a character, morally, physically, and that has continued in his wizarding ways.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Perfect. Cool. Okay. Well, without further ado, let's get on with the session. So, you are leaving Willer's hut. Yeah, I think we had a bit of a conversation about you heading up to towards the Fürstenrecht house. Willer packing up behind you, and Carl Odador said he would stay with her at least temporarily. You don't know whether he's planning to go with her or stay here or what. Just as you're heading off, though, you hear a yell, and you look round and you see it is Carl, and he seems to be like waving to Kruger.
I'll turn around and head over to him.
Are you wearing your helmet, or are you not?
Probably not right now.
Okay, just the hat then. Yeah.
Just the hat. Yeah.
Just the hat. He kind of, as you walk closer, it's up to you, the rest, if you're waiting or wandering. I don't mind, but so you can probably be here for this if you wish. As you walk closer, he kind of squints at you and goes, "Hey, lad, come, let me look at you close. What's your last name? Did you say?"
Stark.
Stark. I think it was. What was the name of your grandpap? You had two grandparents. The Stark grandparent was named Anthelm Stark. You never knew him.
Anthelm.
Aye.
Why do you ask?
I served alongside him when I was a lad. Well, I say alongside him for him. You didn't tell me you were of noble blood.
I try to keep that quiet. it doesn't help with. Well, I find my talents don't lie in the intrigue of the court. I much prefer a more direct approach.
He will chuckle slightly across his arms and go, and then like put a large, firm hand on your shoulder and squeeze you, not painfully, comfortingly, and go, and they'll never set foot in a court. But neither did he fear his own blood. You know, there's power in blood. Don't deny it. You know, I saw him die. He was crushed in the dying embrace of a Doombull, a mighty, mighty Minotaur leader. His blade sunk deep into its heart. They both died together. It was a mighty death for a mighty man. He was a knight captain, you know, of the White Wolves. Do him proud, live up to the name. Don't pretend it's not yours. He left that for you.
But yes, perhaps it's time I. Yes, you speak wisely.
Think on it. And he'll just turn around and leave unless you have anything else to say to him.
Nothing that I can think of.
Steve, why don't you tell us what your level was?
So I have spent quite a few points to finish off soldier level 2 and boost things like dodge and endurance and melee second two-handed and stuff like that. But yes, I have indeed bobbed over to the noble level 1 career just for a bit.
Kruger is officially a noble and will be treated as such. I mean, you kind of pretended to be before, but now you actually are.
So there we are.
Did anyone else listen to that, do you think? Or do you think you would have treated that as private? He wasn't speaking quietly, so.
I mean, like, does Boniface listen to that conversation? Of course.
Boniface, you heard every word of that.
As we know, nothing has changed in Boniface's mind. Kruger was always a noble in Boniface's mind. This just further enshrines that Kruger does not see Boniface. Boniface is beneath his notice.
I love it. On that subject, did you go on? Sorry.
Henrik would probably have been quietly listening, but making it not directly look like he was listening. You know, he's not like.
So I'll turn around and the whole group will start sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Out of curiosity, was Okri listening, or was Okri just not bothered? Just, I'd like to know.
No, I don't think so. Not my business.
Yeah, it's not your business. That's perfectly fair. I don't think a dwarf would ever. Yeah, listen, it's just not what you do. That makes sense.
It's a conversation between those two.
Exactly.
Like if Kruger wants me involved, he would invite me over, you know.
It's a weird human trait. They seem to want to listen to other people. You've never understood it.
Well, for me, it's one of the perks of being an investigator. Everything's my business.
Yeah, I love it. While I'm thinking about it, I just remembered something I wrote down. Justin, had you accomplished your like short-term objective to like
my short-term objective was to earn trust? Yes, I have a new short-term objective now.
Good. Okay, that's fine then. I'm just double checking because you definitely earned their trust last time with Wilma, but you'd already achieved it.
No, my new one is to report the witch. That's my new short-term objective.
Amazing. Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
You know, everyone's got to have a plan.
Cool.
We could have quite easily had a clashing short-term objective had I known that she was a witch and was at risk of being turned in. But I don't.
I mean, to be fair, I announced my intentions loudly. I gave her every chance to run, but I regret doing that now because you know, never suffer a witch to live. This is what we've learned. This is what we've learned.
This is the thing. She's a nice lady, but equally, you have seen what happened, and you don't have any specific evidence. Monsters
hang on.
And Boniface's magic use has been without any kind of issue at all.
Partying wizards, absolutely fine. No problem.
I am a soon-to-be licensed magic user, and I never use magic unless it's an emergency situation.
It's the perfect irony of Warhammer, where it's like, those evil people who practice magic without being trained, and then they go to get trained.
I'm sorry.
Like bringing all the awfulness to one place.
Are we in the end times, or are we not in the end times?
We're not in the end times yet.
Sure.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Either way, Henrik has already warned her that there is an Inquisitor on the way.
Yeah. I think there was plenty of warning.
Have that down. Yeah, she is literally packing up as you're standing there. So
if the Inquisitor that is coming is actually an Inquisitor, we're still not 100% on that.
I think what's his name? Your wizard friend who I've now completely forgotten the name of.
Vile, Gustav Vile.
Yeah, Gustav Vile. He's heading back to Altdorf
Yes.
with post haste to see if he can find out what is going on that front to help you. So, not that he can interrupt the Inquisitor directly. So, at least you got something to hope for. So you walk up towards the Fürstenrecht house. It's kind of late morning now, because you had a nice restful short sleep probably. Do you have any? Does Kruger bring anything up about this conversation, or do those who heard it say anything at all, or is it just quiet walk to the Fürstenrecht house? I'll give you a chance to chat about that in a minute.
I think I'd probably be walking in silence, in thought.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say maybe there's a slightly different air to your walk, though. Just how you hold yourself or something. Perhaps you're channeling your old granddad. I'm assuming no to any of that then. So maybe 5 minutes later, you walk past some farmland, and they're not too far from near the Garden of Moor, actually, the graveyard where you were earlier in the story. And then you walk past it a while ago. You see the manor house of the Fürstenrecht household. It is painted in a rich purple paint, kind of a big wooden, almost like a chalet style building, a bit kind of, there's some towers on it and everything like that. But it's not huge. It's certainly a large house. You described it as a manor house, but it's not massively extravagant. There's a wall around it that's more of just a small wooden palisade, almost a fence. You could probably climb it if you wanted to. It's not substantial, and there's a gate at the front within the small enclosure. It looks like it goes back away, maybe with some gardens behind the building, and a few small buildings like a little stable out the front yard as well. You can see the gate's quite wide and open, and you can see right through it into the stable yards out front. And there's no one immediately there that you can see. Are you discussing any plans before you just go straight up to the door? It's worth me saying as well, sorry, you did pick up that note about I think Taltha gave it to you last session about the poison something or other that was requested. I think you have that with you now, Henrik.
Oh, yeah, I've got I didn't write it down, the shipping order.
Yes, with the signature on it.
So 8 barrels or something like that?
It was something ridiculous, yeah. I don't think I've actually noted down a specific amount. The specific amount is not too worried. I'm not too worried about. A lot. Way more poison you could ever imagine for any normal use.
I mean, I'd certainly be sort of turning to the group and saying, possibly more towards Henrik than the others, how do you want to do this? What are we after here? Do we suspect them? Are we just asking about their son Sebastian? What's the angle?
I think we just want information. I'm not in any inclination to get consequences for this from them, but we need to know what we're looking for in Altdorf.
Sam, can you remind us of the name of? There was a family that Sebastian
Yes,
knew.
Sebastian was
Salzar.
Salzenhar. Yes, Sebastian was friends with someone from the Salzenhar family, who he said was Altdorf, and he mentioned that they were worried about things going on here. And then Henrik has heard that Egrim's name is Egrim Salzenhar, the person who seems to be very interested in you and definitely has sorceress powers.
I think the thing to do would be to ask after Sebastian, to broach the subject to the Salzenhar family, and how Sebastian said he had been warned. See if we can acquire a contact or a guidance of any of the Salzenhars and Altdorf who maybe aren't trying to orchestrate our downfall. And then maybe to finish with inquiring why they acquired a boatload of poison.
And
Just the finisher.
what if they are in league with Sebastian and this Egrim character?
Well, then they'll probably want us to go to Altdorf, which means we'll leave here alive and go exactly where they tell us to. Either way, they'll be giving us useful information.
Okay.
Does that seem...
I can't think of... It seems a reasonable approach. I can't think of anything... I mean, we have just... Is there any other family in this... Okri? Is there any other family here that has as much sway as the First Narax in this town?
Okri, yeah, you know the First Rex. I think actually you know the new countess by name. She's the daughter. I mean, the old countess was old. She was, well, not that old for a dwarf, of course, but she was a very elderly woman. You know, probably in her 80s, maybe even 90s. She was exceptionally old. And her daughter is a relatively elderly lady, but she's the new countess. Sorry, her name is Countess Elise von Fürstenrecht. You don't really know the rest of the family. It's not really something you're interested in. They're not around town a lot. In fact, the only other one you did know was Sebastian. You had seen him in the tavern a few times. It's up to you whether you knew him by name or not, but you had seen him around.
Okay.
He seemed to be one of the more friendly, approachable folks of the family. I think that's probably more or less all you know. You know there's a few more of them. You know, Sebastian, you think, was the grandchild of the current countess, so the great grandchild of the previous countess.
Okay.
But
no other large families in town of that.
Not in town. There are other families that have an influence and might, you know, come to council, that sort of thing in Weisbrook, but nothing significant.
And what was the name of Sebastian's parents? Because I think, isn't it his dad that had one of the von Versenrechts was named as having a key to the guardhouse.
Yes, it would be probably the old countess's son, so the younger brother of the current countess.
Right.
Who you don't know the name of.
God, I hate family trees.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I'll say no other families with that kind of sway, really.
Well, I do hope they're not tainted. Otherwise, this town could have a poor future.
Would you like to, as our noble representative, would you like to speak, or shall I?
Unless it's required, I think we can go under the guise of being simply the group of fellows that saved this town from the ravages of chaos.
I will give you this much for living in this world. If the person who answers the door is not going to be the Countess, or possibly even anyone of the family, it will be some sort of servant. So you're on equal terms, any of you. Actually, if they talk to Kruger, they'll consider you a sir, for example, which might be helpful, might not be, depending what you're asking. But if you do end up talking to a member of the family, Sebastian perhaps was a bit more casual about this than most lords would be. Certainly when you've approached their house, they probably wouldn't talk to anyone but Kruger. So there would be no point trying, unless, there was an emergency or something.
Well, I'll perhaps be, I don't know, taking off my gauntlets and finding the, the family ring or something that I've been kept in a small pouch for.
I can hold those for you if you need to.
Yeah,
Boniface instincts
just actually immediately there.
Yeah. I love it. Boniface just can't help but look at the ring just for a moment.
I always knew it. If I had to get a fate point back, succeeding through others is motivation is really coming to the fore.
So
like
funny.
I knew I was riding these coattails up.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Okay, so knock on the door. It doesn't really matter who. A few moments later, the door is opened by a young, probably in her late teens, woman who's wearing a maid's outfit. She's quite tall and skinny, and she looks a bit taken aback by all of you strangers at the door and goes, "Oh, hello. What's your business?"
Am I doing it then?
I think Henrik is. Was that the agreement?
I'll talk to the servants. You talk to the lords.
Did you just say that right in front of yourself?
We were hoping for an audience with a member of the family.
Oh, I think she looks around you all and then maybe eyes Kruger up a bit and goes, "Oh, okay. I'm afraid they're all at breakfast just now. What is it about?"
Might I inquire if young Sebastian is with them?
No, he's not normally with them.
We are acquaintances of his, and we believe he was with us last night during the chaos in town and would like to ensure his safety.
Oh. Okay. Is he okay?
We don't know.
I'll just one moment, and then she just disappears inside, and then you hear a clomping sound coming towards the door, and then the door's like a bit open, but you can't really see, and then the door swings open, and the first thing you see is just a large round belly, and then the rest of the person, it is a halfling woman, a very, very round halfling woman, quite an old woman, wearing just kind of maid's outfit and a big grubby apron on the front. She is very overweight, bright pink-faced, older halfling woman. She gazes at you all grumpily. You can actually hear her grinding her teeth. And then she goes, "What's this about Sebastian?"
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
We were he was accompanying us through the chaos of the attack last night. And at some
Nope,
point we were
That's
separated.
enough. Come in, tea. Not standing here and talking. And she turns around and starts doing that. I am Antoniella. I am the head of this household. No toes out of line. Follow me only. Don't touch anything. Come sit over here.
At the first available opportunity, I'm going to try and sneak away.
I'm going to give you fair warning. You think this woman is on.
People have got their alert up, have they?
Yeah.
Let me just see. Well, I imagine it's stealth urban, right?
Yeah, it's going to be
pick a
stealth
good
urban.
opportunity.
It's going to be. It's going to be a hard. I'll make it. I won't be too mean.
At least you
No,
got rid of those shoes.
I got rid of those shoes. That was
he's
the
not
main
wearing those
thing.
shoes anymore.
And you've like she's a head servant. You've got to be beneath notice, right?
I mean, this is a big plus. My current status is only silver 1, which is below the most basic servant.
Yeah, but it's within a class, and she's silver.
That's fair. But yeah, for beneath notice, I may hide in plain sight around anyone of higher status.
She ain't.
Okay. All right, fine.
It's a category status. It's not.
No, that's I'm fine with this.
Mhm.
Well, that would not go well. I have immediately spotted and I'm not spending any points on this.
What do you attempt to do?
I attempt to find a moment to slip away, but every single time I do, it's painfully obvious what I'm trying to do.
I'll tell you what happens. Every time you even think about it, you look somewhere, she goes, ah!
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That's what
I rolled a 97, by the way. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend anything on that. That's
I think she lets you all in, and then she gazes at you like long and hard, Boniface, and goes, "If you make one move from that seat, you will get something real horrible in your tea, young man."
Noted, but I wasn't even thinking about it.
She grinds her teeth some more at you and then goes to make tea. And then says, "Tell me, Sebastian. The young lass over there's got nothing but air in her head. I'm the one to talk to here."
Can I keep a very close eye on what she's putting in the tea?
Yeah, sure. She doesn't appear to be trying to put poison in the tea.
We're going to the house to try and find out why they've got a huge amount of poison, and we're
I
immediately.
suppose make me a perception. It's only fair.
Halfling again.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That is 2 success levels.
Yeah.
Success.
You're pretty confident she's making a normal tea with leaves imported from Cathay, as would be expected.
Okay. He was accompanying us as we made our way through town after the attack last night. I assume word has spread.
Yes, it has. A few of the guards from the house were sent down, but I believe they didn't find much to do. They helping, I think, with the wounded, though.
Well, unfortunately, at one point, we turned a corner and Sebastian was no longer with us. We hoped to come here and ensure his safety, but...
He's always been a strange one, that lad. He's never fit in. Ever since he was 18, he's lived in the town rather than here. So, no, we weren't specifically looking for him, although I think his mother is a little worried.
Do you... would you be able to tell us where we may find him?
I think he usually stays in that tavern. What's it called? I don't go there much myself. Yes, it's the tavern that you're staying in. The
Demigrove.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see him there last night, did we?
No.
You think you would have seen him unless he was really trying to avoid you, so.
I don't suppose there are any friends in town that he may have sought refuge with?
I yes, perhaps. He liked the, what was that boatman? Welch was his name? The boatman, I think. Yeah, he liked him.
Welch.
Went to Altdorf a lot, I think the lad did. Had them friends up there. Salzenhals they were, weren't they? That was the name. They came over here. The young lad did. Polite enough. Went off, played.
I was under the impression the Salzenhaars and the Fürstenrex were friends going back years.
Not especially, I don't think. There's been relationships among all families. I expect there was some great aunt married a great uncle, but if Sebastian told you that, it was probably more of him and his friends, his mates over there. Do you think he's in trouble?
It's certainly cause for concern, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
What was his friend's name? The Salzenhaar he was close to.
Wilbur Salzenhaar. They've got some title probably attached to it. I don't remember that part.
And was it Worf the boatman?
Welch, I think it was.
Welch. Thank you, Welch. Brain. I had my list of last names in front of me. I was just like, oh gosh, which one did I choose? I haven't written it down yet. Quick, write down Wilbur Salzenhaar. There we go.
Does the shipping slip that I have the name of the boatman in charge of transport on it?
Yes, it does, and it is not Welch. You don't know this person.
Okay.
Should I? No. I'll pass on the message, I think. She won't want to be disturbed just now.
I imagine the house must be in... Well, it must be a very stressful time for everyone involved. Condolences for the family's recent loss.
Thank you. She was. Many thought she was uptight and, well, not at all interested in the common person, but she did more, I think, for this place than most realize. She was a good mistress. I miss her. But Elise will make a good countess too.
And I hear my apologies if this is... You appear to keep a very good house.
Thank you.
But there have been rumors in town that you may be struggling with unwanted visitors.
What do you mean?
I'm a professional rat catcher from Altdorf. I was wondering if I could assist in any way.
I assure you we have no rat problems here. I keep everything perfectly clean. I take it personally that you would say anything else.
I did not mean any offense.
Do you see
It's
holes?
just
Do you see muck?
There have been rumors in town of a very large import of poison, such as one might use for rats.
And why are you bringing that to me? We have nothing to do with it. What makes you think that would be?
Merely wondering if it's something in the household. Anything I could assist with.
No, I'm sorry. I've seen no rats at all. It's rather a strange request. There is a reason you asked me this. Why?
Because I would like to know why the First and Wrecked family imported 8 barrels of Black Lotus poison.
What? I've not heard of this. What would we possibly have to do with poison of that quantity?
I will dig out the shipping slip.
Mhm.
I will not pass it over,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
will show it. I will show her the signature.
Yeah, she will glance at it. She will read through the whole thing, glance at it a few times with a frown on her face, look back up at you and go, "This is nonsense. This is not my good mistress's signature. It's someone pretending to, but it's not hers."
Are you
It's
saying
not-
this is a forgery?
Yes.
Would you be
Absolutely.
familiar with? I hate to say it. Would you be familiar with Sebastian's handwriting?
I don't think well enough. I knew the old countess very well. Her handwriting was, well, I helped her sign all the time. I did not bring the boy up. I'm sorry. But it's not hers, I assure you. You can make a roll if you like, but on the surface, she seems to be telling the truth.
I will make a roll just for completion.
Mhm.
Intuition or perception?
Intuition. Just let me think. Actually, no, I'm going to give you a plus 20.
Then I pass with 1 success level.
Cool. Yeah, you think she is telling the truth to the best of her knowledge. She genuinely doesn't know about anything to do with poison. She doesn't seem to think there are rats here. And she's certain that this is not the Countess' signature herself. She could be mistaken, but that's what she believes.
And can I have a quick sort of meta check
Mhm.
in that in a family as rich as like high as the First Interacts,
Mhm.
if there was something like if they were bringing in 8 barrels of poison to the house,
Yeah.
then the mistress of the house, like the head servant, would probably know about it, right?
Oh, the head servant. Yeah, definitely. I think the head servant knows about everything here.
Yeah.
Definitely looking at this woman, you would be shocked. She continues to shake her head and just go, but it doesn't even make any sense, really, if you think about it. The Countess probably wouldn't sign. She would probably stamp something like this. And I mean, if you want, I can get you our records. We have no record of paying for these goods either. Why would someone want to pretend that we bought poison?
It was imported on a ship of wine as well.
That's probably ours. Do you know what the wine was?
Do I?
Let's say it's a Paravon Red.
I say that.
Paravon, yes, that sounds likely. That's one of our many orders of wine we get in monthly.
Then it sounds like someone may have slipped this in to be below notice.
8 barrels of poison.
Henrik, how
Yes.
many rats would 8 barrels of poison kill?
Normal
And
rats.
how many people?
Normal rats, hundreds of thousands. Normal people, thousands.
Judging up against, like, for example, the population of Altdorf, if, say, a barrel of Black Lotus were to be thrown in every well or whatever, like,
Yeah,
is that the kind of level we're talking here?
that would certainly cause major damage to Altdorf. I think that's safe to say.
A lot.
We need to find those barrels.
Although it's worth saying they came from Altdorf.
Okay.
I think the barrels were still on the boat when you last saw.
Then we need to go check the boat.
If that boat sinks, it could be a disaster.
Yes. Ooh. Yes, and this Welch, is he usually to be found by the waterside, I'm guessing?
If he's anywhere, he'll be there. But he does get around, so might have to get lucky.
Thank you very much for the tea.
It was great tea, by the way. Like, honestly, tea's quite a nice thing in this world. It's like the equivalent of what tea would have been in the 16th century, sort of 17th century sort of thing. It's a posh extravagance. So it was quite. Maybe some of you never had tea. I imagine Henrik and Ockrey might never have had tea. Boniface, I feel like might have done, just because you're more familiar with those circles. I say Kruger is because maybe Kruger hasn't either. Not really the type. It was good. Anyway, are you making your taking your leave at that?
Does anyone else have anything to ask? Because I've sort of been leading the point, but I'll look around the group.
Have we asked about whether he's got any friends in Altdorf that he might have?
She mentioned Wilbur Salzenhar.
Well, yeah, Wilbur Salzenhar. Okay.
Who is not Egrin, which is good.
Oh yeah, his good old childhood friend Egrim.
I mean, how do you know?
Real direct there.
Egrim could be a pseudonym.
Egrin has already used one fake name to talk to us.
It's a really popular name. Everyone's called Egrim. He's Egrim. He's Egrim. It's just like.
Then yes, then I will thank her for the tea and stand up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she lets you out. She looks a little incredulous at you, but seems glad to have been able to help. She eyes up Boniface as you leave. I think maybe, but like, if Boniface is the last one, she grabs you. Like, she's obviously very short. She's a halfling. She goes like that.
What?
And grabs you by the scruff of your neck and goes like, "Yes, Sonny, you're going to get yourself into big trouble one day. You better watch out." And then she lets you go.
I'd be like, I wouldn't be worried about getting myself in trouble. You're the one who's tied to 8 barrels of poison.
I think I will.
Boniface.
I think if I overheard this, I would have probably. He already has, and
grab him by the ear.
Yeah, love it. I love how Boniface is like a powerful wizard, and yet everyone's still going to treat him like.
That's exactly how. That's how a grey wizard is supposed to operate.
It's true. It's perfect. I mean, she definitely didn't think you were a wizard.
No.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, you assuming... I mean, is there any kind of chatter you're having on the way down? That's true, because that was a bit of an interesting realization there.
I mean, what these 8 barrels of poison? How do we even get rid of 8 barrels of poison?
I want to know where 8 barrels of poison came from.
Well, Altdorf, apparently. But,
you have the writ, don't you, John?
Yes.
Henrik has. So, I think it will probably have a cellar. I don't think there's any reason it wouldn't have a cellar. We haven't asked that question before. So, yeah, it's from an exotic alchemical substances dealer, basically, in Altdorf. And it's a fairly well-known place. I don't have the name on me, but
is it one that I've
you've heard of the shop? Yeah, you've heard of the shop before. Maybe
I couldn't afford the Black Locust, but I've been there.
Yeah, you definitely couldn't. But it's it's known of. Yeah, exactly. Poison arrows, perfect. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't seem dodgy. There's no detail of who bought it on that end or anything, which would be real helpful, obviously. But
well, it's a lead in Altdorf.
we need to check.
I doubt the seller has ever met the buyer.
Yes, we need to find those barrels and And fast.
Taltha seemed that he seemed confident that he'd gotten a hold of them.
That's true, he did. You are correct. I think he said that he said the guards had been to secure them. You're not sure what happened since then, of course, given all the chaos. But
Yeah, let's
the
check.
canal boat, if nothing else has interfered with it, should still be there.
And it might also be worth checking the inn, seeing if Sebastian has been staying there and if his room is now unoccupied.
Okay, so heading back down to town. Is anyone splitting off, or are you all going to head straight to the docks together? Sounds like that was kind of the first priority.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, certainly the inn's not far, so that makes sense. Yeah, you get to the docks. There is someone singing a song in a language that perhaps you know the language. It's Estalian, effectively equivalent of Italian in this world, from south of Britannia across the Grey Mountains, and it's quite a lovely voice. And as you look, you see someone coming into land, sitting at the front of their boat, bellowing out a song, playing an accordion, with a canal barge pulling up. They're also wearing a rather extravagant-looking chef's hat. Presumably, that's not your priority, but it's definitely worth remarking on. You presumably instead go to try and find this canal barge. It doesn't take a moment. It is there. And actually, as you walk up to it, I wonder if anyone has the name. That would be great. I know there was the name of this guy. I think I definitely wrote him down. Of the guy who you originally talked to on the docks.
Yes. Oh, I have it.
I didn't write down his name in my contacts because it was only brief. Would have been session 7.
Albrecht.
Was it another
Albrecht at the funeral.
Oh, it was. It was the same.
He's the one who's Dr. Liedemann's illegitimate son.
Okay,
I've got the words, I don't know why. I have Albrecht ? And sneaky worker written.
Yeah.
In my really comprehensive notes. So
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Albrecht walks up to you and goes, "Oh, you're all still here."
You sound disappointed.
Well, not especially. But I suppose it was a big old mess in that graveyard. But you sorted it out, I guess. I just can't help begrudge a little that you forced me to give up my little, my little revenge. Anyway, what do you want?
Henrik pauses for a moment and then decides not to remind this man that his little revenge got at least one extra person killed. We're looking for the canal boat that the guard commandeered yesterday.
You're just gonna go and not the camera, gesture like that, and it's like right there, and there's like a big heavy leather that's covering the top of the boat, and he'll walk over with you and pull it back, and you see 8 big barrels with a mark on them that says "Do not open unless experienced with, toxic substances."
Do they have like a tamper-proof seal on them?
I don't think they would.
A magic tamper-proof seal.
No, I don't think they would. I think they've just got corks that are pretty tight. That's probably all it is. But they do have the stamp of the same place as your, the shop in Altdorf on each of the barrels. It's worth saying the rest of the boat is empty, and Albrecht will go. The rest of the order was taken up to the house days ago, but this stuff's just stayed. Or I say a day ago, not days. Sorry. No one asked for it, so we're not going to move it, I guess. Who would Why would they order 8 barrels of poison? Just leave it though.
Have you seen Sebastian Furstenrecht down here today?
Today? No. I think I saw him coming back from Altdorf a couple of days ago. He was on the barge with that guy, Welch.
Is Welch still around today?
Genuinely going to roll the dice. Nope. Sorry. He was, I think he was taking a route back to Altdorf yesterday. Lucky them. Goes up and down this canal. Passengers. Nothing exciting. Sure you'll run into him if you hang about here a few more days.
Not sure we have the time.
Sorry. Can't help you then.
Is there a list of everything that was on this boat?
Probably. Look, I don't read. Okay, just Harbour Master's over there.
Thank you.
When you get there, there is no one at a small deer stand thing, but there is a big book there, which you can have a glance over. And assuming you can read, it doesn't take you too long. It doesn't take you too long to find the book. The boat. The entry is basically just 12 large kegs of Paravon Red and 8 barrels of Black Lotus, and all marked as being purchase order for Furstenrecht household, as you'd expect.
I will say this aloud. It is a good question of why would you order. Number one, why would you order this much poison? Number two, why would you order it and then leave it? Either the person was interrupted before they could collect, or there was too much attention paid to it, or the person wasn't available to collect it. If Sebastian has had to, or anyone else has had to flee the town before they could collect it, or there was something else on that boat, not recorded in the ledger, and we have spent so much time worrying about the Black Lotus that no one bothered to look for whatever the other thing was.
Henrik, you told everyone about the vision that you had when the creature touched you, didn't you?
Did you?
Very loosely.
Vaguely. Yeah, vaguely. Okay, in that case, can Henrik, you make me a hard intuition roll, that is -20, and everyone else make a very hard intuition roll, that is -30. We'll see.
What's the crit value for success, even though you have no
under 5.
under 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roll a 2.
There you
Which
go.
is 4 success levels anyway. Oh no,
Ow.
With a
just 2
-3,
success
so yeah, but it's
with a
crit.
-3, it's only
Crit
2.
success.
It's only 1 success level or something.
Crit
I
I'm-
rolled a 44 against my -5.
I rolled 66.
Sorry,
against-
no, wait. Was
Minus
it
one.
was it -40?
-30.
Oh yeah, -5 then. Yeah, so not quite.
Not just smidge.
See, this is
I'm
why
gonna-
I prefer just hitting things. It's
What
so
about you, John?
easier.
Oh, I spent a point to re-roll, and I got closer, but I was still off by 1 success level.
Well, one of you got it.
Oh, we're not going
What
to rely on Boniface.
what is it clicking? Boniface has not
What-
understood.
Boniface.
I've barely understood anything that's going on so far. Boniface has done even less.
You were. I think you probably were listening quite intently when Henrik was telling about what the
Probably
vision-
not, but
What?
like
Something
that's the
legend, though.
magical hearing thing.
Something
Like
legend,
I hear
exactly.
things that I don't even listen to.
Exactly. Well, maybe in some part of your mind has been dwelling on it, and It's
There's
just
not much else
kind
going on up there.
You have no idea if this is true or not, but you realize that if someone really wanted Henrik to be here, they would probably fill a boat full of poison and send it here. And that thing that Henrik was talking about was really just it was like a puppet strings pulling people to a place thing.
I say this, and I also say, how do we even know what's in those barrels is poison and not gunpowder or something else? But that's a separate thing. That's a body fast. That's the body fast intuition. But I say, this is almost exactly designed to get us to be here at this dock.
Why is this Egrin person so interested in us, for heaven's sakes?
Well, we did. We've done some things worthy of note. I say, looking around shiftily.
We know some things that most people don't.
We've pissed off some people that other people haven't pissed off.
I suppose. Well, I only came here because I was employed by Gustav Weil.
And what brought Gustav Weil here?
The threat of necromancy, I believe.
Dr. Liederman.
Who was...
Speaking
Didn't he get
to
his
someone in
information from...
Oxford.
No. Ockery, why are you here?
He lives here.
Why here?
House prices.
I'm just imagining somebody
It was
slipped.
actually that for Rocker. He couldn't afford a forge in Altdorf. Where's the closest place that's
Jesus.
cheap and has iron?
God. I just imagine somebody slipping a pamphlet of, wouldn't Weisborough be wonderful for a
I mean, but
forge?
I am now how do we even know that there's poison in those barrels?
Well, I'm sure Henrik could find some way of identifying the poison, but
While you're having this conversation, the singing on the boat nearby has been ongoing quite a lot. It's actually really good.
God.
He's an excellent singer. The man.
This is the person
playing...
in the chef's hat.
Yeah, it's the person in the chef's hat with the accordion. He stops singing in Estali and just goes, "Hey, you young lad, come here, come here." He's pointing at Boniface.
I will approach the boat.
Mm-hmm. It is good to meet a fellow of the Grey College.
I approach even closer to a whisper distance. might he have made not to tell you how to play a game, but might he have made some kind of sign of the Grey Order that might be intelligible?
I think you've
There's
heard
a kind of cant.
You've heard of this guy.
Okie dokie.
No, this he's quite a famous member of the Grey Order, which is exactly the opposite of what you should.
The Grey
be.
Order is supposed to be.
Yes, exactly. He seems to have the perspective. He seems to have the perspective of make people not think you're a wizard by distracting them.
By being a wizard very impressively.
Well, he's a chef. He is.
By being a chef.
He is a professional chef who travels the world selling his delicious goods.
Cool.
He nods. He does an extravagant bow and goes, "My name is Giovanni Mezzi. It's good to meet you."
I have heard of you. I kind of say in a kind of not in a kind of peculiarity of I have heard of you. What's that about?
Everyone's heard of me. He gives you a beaming smile. He's like a round, but not like overly large man. Just kind of, he's got a round personality. A very and he kind of just keeps chuckling while he's talking. You, I feel, You are ready for more, aren't you?
I look around. To be honest, I don't think I barely survived what I've already had.
No, no, you have a twinkle in your eye. Don't sell yourself short, young man. Come here.
Right, I'll go up again, looking back over my shoulder by my party, who I'm sure hasn't just forgotten me and they're not just talking about
is everyone
themselves.
else just watching this? I mean, I think he probably said, unless you followed Boniface, he said Grey Wizard quietly enough so you didn't hear. But he would have said, if you followed.
What was the language he was speaking in? Is it Estalian?
No, he is speaking in.
But he was singing Estalian.
Yeah, he was singing in Estalian. Yes, he's now speaking in Imperial.
I think I will, I'll look just to make sure that Boniface isn't about to fall in the water or stumble across another cult or
steal his
whatever it
hat.
is Boniface might do. But otherwise,
Yeah.
it's Boniface.
Yeah, he does weird stuff.
Well, assuming no one's come close, everyone just sees Boniface talking to the friendly chef.
The friendly chef, yeah.
Boniface, he gestures to you to climb on the boat, and there's a seat. Join him on the bench.
No, I come on up and give him a very brief explanation of what little Boniface understands of the situation.
Yeah. Do you mention?
I say we fought a massive hand thing.
Mm-hmm.
There were these pink creatures, these blue creatures. There were wizards misbehaving, school, all these things, and of course, I go. Then there's a witch who lives here. That's a thing that we need to, these are all things. These are my information.
Very good.
We need information about these barrels of poison that are sitting on this boat over here. We don't know where,
Pish posh. Boring
Pish
investigations. You, come. Give me your unsigned certificate.
I crack open my grimoire, which I'm sorry, there's very few spells in it. My master only taught me 1 or 2 spells, but in kind of fresh pages of this book, I pull out this certificate and go, I've been waiting for someone to sign this at some point.
He will take it and just glance at it for a while and smile at you, and then just I
start listing off the things I can do. I've been learning I learned these laws. I've been practicing. Basically these are all my qualifications. I can read and write. I learned that.
He signs it. He signs it while holding the vellum in the air, and then just hands it back to you with a flourish and goes, "Yes, well deserved. Yes, very good."
All right then. Well, I'll tuck that. I'm gonna fold that up and tuck that into my breast pocket or something.
Okay. Justin, why don't you tell us what your level up was?
So I'm now a Shadowmancer. Which means I'm a licensed practicing wizard. That's apparently just happened. And broadly, the kinds of advancements that I've been getting are getting better at magic, which I've been showing off last session. And the direction I'm heading in, well, all kinds of things. But I think it may involve maybe learning a stallion.
Did you get any spells with your XP?
No.
Okay,
mostly because the way wizards despite what everyone online seems to think, the way wizards learn spells is they buy or do favors or things for spells in spell books and my spell book.
Well, I was about to say, if you did want to, you could have the opportunity to do something now with this guy, because he is actually a very high ranking in the Grey Order wizard.
Well,
but it sounds like you decided not, so that's all right.
No, I mean, I'm open to ideas. I think that there are. Yeah, I mean, what kind what does he seem to be offering?
I haven't actually planned specific spells to offer you. He was using
not
this
specific spells or anything.
You could make if you had a few spells in mind that you were looking to get, you could get them now with this situation. Effectively, you sit down with him and copy from his grimoire.
I would love to copy. I think that in the time, it would be great to copy one spell.
Mhm.
Like, and I will pick a sensible spell that could be copied.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, he will spend like a half hour with you, kind of letting you copy the spell and then incanting it a few times with you for
Yeah,
practice.
and I do say it'd be great to have some recipes at the same time so I can tell my colleagues
Mhm.
what I was writing down over here.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea that it's a half hour and everyone's like, are you all right there, buddy?
What is Boniface up to? And he goes, I've got a good soup recipe, guys. This soup's going to be great. Like, you're going to love it.
The thing is, this is the genius of Giovanni Mezzo. Normally, I would make you do a perception roll to see what the heck is going on because this is weird. But he's such a distracting character.
Yeah,
You don't get one. That you just genuinely don't suspect that this guy could be a wizard.
he's so flipping weird.
Yeah.
Right, got it.
In case people hadn't guessed, this is actually a character from the actual lore. I'm not quite.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
That's terrifying.
I was wondering, like, is that person a random roll? Have we suddenly got a random roll? Weird.
I was trying to figure out how to give Justin a scene because it just didn't fit. Because I was like, a normal grey wizard just would kind of mess up the plot right now. I was like, in the interval before when the countdown was going, I was like, let's just look up some grey wizards, and I was like. Anyway, behind the curtain. Cool. So, Justin, you can take a spell. Let us know what you decide when you get it. But no,
I'll get something nice and simple.
It doesn't have to be now if you don't want to make it.
I'll get flight. No, I won't get flight. Teleport.
Okay, everyone else, while this is going on, are you going to kind of wait to Boniface head to the tavern? Are you going to do some more investigating on the docks?
I think if we've got 8 barrels of poison knocking around, we need to get that stowed away. We can't have 8 barrels of poison just. So even if it was just a really expensive diversion to get Henrik to come to Weisbruck, like somebody is. Oh no, we've got a big bad who's definitely got more money than sense. Yeah, let's go on.
Something Boniface said vaguely occurred to me, and maybe I will pop one open and verify that it is Black Lotus.
Yeah.
After that, we could. I mean, we would have to clear it with the captain if he has no better way to dispose of this safely. But we could sell it back to the seller.
Yep. It will be a lower rate than it was originally bought from, but it's still a lot of money. You'd imagine for 8 barrels of Black Lotus. That's a pretty good idea.
That would, however, mean we would know there would be 8 barrels of Black Lotus floating around.
As far as you know, it's already been paid for. Yeah, but I mean, 8 barrels of Black Lotus in the stores of the shop that sells Black Lotus. They probably have barrels of it there. Now, as for the verifying it is Black Lotus, what are you going to do about that? Because it is black powder that looks like it could be Black Lotus, is all you can tell. It doesn't really have a smell.
I have law poison.
There you go. It's fine. Just a little bit of poison.
Snort some. Yeah.
Go ahead, make that roll.
I like to think, like, a lot of time, maybe I feel like other people would maybe have you'd have a solution and an alembic, and maybe you heat it. But no, I do think Henrik literally just licks some.
Yeah,
I think he has developed enough of a resistance.
I do a lot of like stuff with other poisonous things in my job, weirdly, and yes, people do actually just do that.
After a while, you do just
develop. You just taste a tiny bit and spit it out, as genuine people do. It's crazy.
There's also, I can't remember if Black Lotus is one of them, but like there's some poisons that are really toxic if you're stabbed with them, but totally fine if you ingest them because they can't overcome the stomach acid.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
True, actually,
I rolled with 3 success levels,
and it's a +20, so you're fine. Yeah,
5.
Yeah. You your tongue goes numb. You spit out. It has the exact effect you would expect. Black Lotus. You don't understand the details of medical, obviously, but it's like a nerve agent, so it basically stops your heart beating, and your tongue is slightly numbed and floppy in your mouth for a while. Your speaking might be awkward for a few minutes. It is Black Lotus. I mean, short of checking every bit of every barrel, you don't see why this wouldn't all be.
Henrik says nothing but nods. He's not going to let on that his tongue's gone numb. He sort of puts the stopper back in
Yeah.
and goes,
I'm expecting full roleplay next time Henrik talks, John.
You're all right, Henrik. You look a little.
fine.
Amazing.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
That's quite a cool spell, Justin. Do you want to introduce what the spell you chose was, just briefly, because it's nice.
Sure, not that anyone else would know, but the spell I've selected, which seems like a spell this character would know, is called. What did I just already lost it. It's called Mind Slip, and it basically means I can erase the memory of myself from someone's mind.
Oh, from other people.
Yeah.
Not just your own.
No, and it lasts for like a number of minutes, but if they fail an intelligence test, average intelligence test, which is quite not too difficult, then they will forget me forever. So I'll just do that to you guys and fudge off, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Oh dear, I clearly need to. How can I?
That's a pretty cool spell. Nice.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's the kind of spell this guy would have, because he doesn't like you knowing who he is. So he's just like, it's basically the Men in Black like flashy thing.
So I'm going to kind of skip over this because it's something you end up basically negotiating. You eventually find the captain of the boat, who is basically patching together the wall of his house, and he, to be honest, wants rid of the barrels. You know, it's not really a great thing to have sitting in your barge. And he negotiates, if you are happy with this, he will take you back on the barge with the poison to sell, and you can deal with it at the other end for a small fee, like a reduced fee for travel back to Altdorf. It's a slow journey. It's not very comfy, but you happy with that?
I would clear it with the guard captain first.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm definitely heading back to Altdorf. So I'm happy with that.
Cool. Okay. What else are you doing? Was it back to the...
There's checking the inn for any sign that Sebastian left in a hurry.
Yep. Okay. Well, back you go to... By now, Boniface has finished his little chat with the chef, which presumably goes entirely unmentioned, Boniface?
Again, I've got a good like this. That's that chef. He had a soup recipe for me.
Are there many itinerant chefs that stop?
I mean, I guess you hang around docks. You know,
what's a good
start
line?
with a stone?
What's a good lying roll?
It's so to detect lying, it normally is an opposed test against cool.
Okay.
So cool is the. I
Just
think that's the kind of keeping your cool. But
roll me a straight cool, Boniface, for the sake of I'm not having everyone roll against you.
Well, I happen to have put 10 points into cool very recently.
Nice.
I rolled an 18 under 50, so
okay,
I think that's
fine. No one's rolling against you. You know, it's a bit of an odd situation, but no one has reason to suspect you.
But I mean, Boniface is kind of odd anyway. So.
Yeah. Odd. Yeah. Yeah, you're at the Demigriff. What are you doing? Talking to the barkeep?
Yes. Yes. Although I now don't know whether I'm too sort of, status level wise.
Very decisive. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, no, he deals with all sorts. So he probably is not a good my lord.
No. I've got a couple of questions about Sebastian Verstenracht.
Oh, yes, the little lord. Yes, he's in here a lot.
Did you happen to see him last night?
No, not last night. No, he was the night before.
Or this morning?
No, I haven't seen him. Not since he left yesterday morning. Sorry, but he's here often. I thought he might be upriver or something.
Does he pay for his rooms?
Downriver.
I'll have to check that later. Does he pay for his rooms in advance?
Sometimes. Usually he just, chucks me a crown, and it's for however long a crown pays for. To be honest, I don't really ask. It's just sort of whenever he fancies dropping a crown over the counter, it's much better than I get for most. I don't think he thinks about money too much, to be honest. None of them First and Rex do very much.
Would you mind greatly if we checked his room?
Yeah, sure, no problem. He usually sleeps up in the attic.
Okay. Yes, we're just slightly concerned for his safety after.
I've already been in and cleaned it up. I hope that's okay.
Of course, it's one of those things. I guess I'll just take a quick look around with my colleagues, if I may, just to
I'll
rule some things out.
I'll go get the key. And he kind of goes into a back room, and you hear jangling of keys.
Is he coming back with the keys? Or
I was giving you a moment of key jangling to check with your colleagues, like you said.
Oh, right.
Was there nothing?
I thought he was checking the room with his colleagues, not.
Yes.
Sorry.
His colleagues.
No, he is just getting the keys at this moment. If you wanted to say something.
Do you think he's gone back to Altdorf? If he knew who we were, does he know? Was he being manipulated as well? Oh. Confused silence descends.
Everyone is. No one has an answer.
I suspect we'll be confused until the chat with the keys returns.
I imagine that cleaning up the room will mean that there's not that much to see there.
Well, potentially, but we do have some keen-eyed fellows, don't we? Not Kruger, of course. He'll bump his head on a beam. But...
I doubt he'd leave out something suspicious.
Love it. Love it.
That was unintentional.
Really?
No.
You're having too much.
I didn't decide to say the word suspicious.
I thought you were going for it. I thought it was perfect.
Oh, I was just like best roleplay moment of the year there, John.
That was spot. That was beautiful.
That's pretty good.
Right,
let's
Henrik
check this
says
room
that
out.
and then lapses into silence.
Darkest expression.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll.
Yeah, he returns with his keys and directs you upstairs, and you head up the main stairs so that the main room's in, and there's kind of a small. It's not quite a ladder. It's kind of like quite steep steps in the walls. They're quite narrow. Head up to a single kind of attic room. There's a small kind of window just below the kind of thatched eaves of the roof, just letting a bit of light in up here, a single window, right at the floor level almost. And otherwise it's quite narrow squeeze in the loft, but it's quite a nice room, There's a kind of a big tub of water just ready to go if anyone wanted to stay. Clean straw bedding, it looks like, What are you looking for? He kind of just nods. He kind of does a little bow as you come up, Krug, and goes,
Are there
Anything else?
is there any winds of magic stuff going on?
Maybe a roll.
I can make a perception roll.
Yep. Plus 20.
As in the difficulty is plus 20?
As in it's plus 20, as in it's better for you by 20.
Better for me. Okay, in that case, I get 4 success levels.
Yeah. I think you feel the winds are still in turmoil here, but not exceptionally here, as in it is because of the events of yesterday that Vicebrook is as if a storm has passed over, and it is still kind of, you're still in the heavy rain bit afterwards.
That makes sense.
But this place is no different from anywhere.
But there's no, I can't spot any illusions on this thing, or
No,
nothing.
Nothing strikes you as usual. Anyone who's just looking around can make the perception roll.
I'll make a regular perception roll.
I'm going to be mean to you, Justin, and say I think Boniface, you had to spend a moment doing that.
That's fine. That's fine. I massively failed that perception roll then.
Well, that was the one to not get then.
I am starting with just looking around,
And this
after
will be a
which
plus.
I will start looking under furniture and looking for loose floorboards. And at a straight check, I got 3 success levels.
Yep, cool. This will be a plus 20. So
5 then.
even better. Did anyone else succeed? Okay.
I used a point of fortune and failed twice. So,
Henrik, first of all,
I'm
you
proud.
find a gold crown stuck in the floorboards, which you may do with as you will. A gold crown's a lot of money. Out of curiosity, do you immediately pocket it, or do you volunteer it? Just I'm interested in Henrik's reaction.
I think I will examine it and then I will pocket it.
Yeah, there's nothing obvious on it. Cool. Okay, you have an extra gold crown. Sorry, making notes. And nothing else is obvious in the room as you look around. You start kind of really looking under beds and stuff. I think maybe the proprietor starts looking a bit awkward because it's a bit grubby under the bed where he swept stuff under and such. You find, after a little bit of searching, a family signet ring with the first and red crest, which you've seen around town quite a few times now. You recognize it. It's like a double-headed hippogriff. You recognize that crest on the ring. It's like a gold signet ring, and it's kind of wedged in like a hole under the corner kind of floorboard, looking quite deliberate, you would say. Whether someone put it there for safekeeping or to hide it, you don't know.
Is there, is the floorboard it's wedged in loose?
No, it seems like it was kind of stuck there because it was well hidden rather than it's something else hidden behind.
Okay. So I will show the ring and say, no, I will not say anything. But I will show the ring.
It's probably wearing off now. I don't want to make you not speak. That's mean.
So he had the ability to sign things with the family crest.
but the slip wasn't.
Well, I remembered it was signatured. It wasn't stamped.
I wonder whether he's been played just as we have. We don't have any evidence of him, I should probably wait until we're not being listened to.
If you would like, you could just tell the proprietor to leave this room. I mean, he would absolutely follow your instruction on that front.
Yes, I'd ask just for a couple of minutes of privacy.
Of course. Apologies, and kind of just immediately head out the room.
Now I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, we have no evidence for him actually carrying out any. He knew perhaps about what the wizards were going to do, but we've not seen him carry out any crimes as such, have we?
No.
Then I suspect all we can do is warn the Festenrechts to perhaps keep closer tabs on him, but perhaps, well...
If he turns up again.
If he turns up, yes. Why would he leave that ring here? For us to find? Did he just lose it?
Maybe he intended to come back.
Or he knew that we would come looking for him.
Yes.
And wanted to leave. Perhaps this is some attempt at an implication of his innocence in this. Maybe he's had to leave for some reason or been taken.
Are there any other leads we can follow? I suspect if he's gone, then, well, perhaps he's taken a boat somewhere, but perhaps to Altdorf. But I'm not sure we have any more leads to follow directly, rather than, well, other than going to Altdorf and seeking out these... Why would... I can't believe... Why would we go to Altdorf to seek out Egram Salzenhar if that is what he wants us to do, other than curiosity, I suppose, but...
I suppose that begs the question, what else would he be willing to do to get us to go?
Well, indeed. 8 barrels of poison is a... If someone can spend that amount of money on a mere worm to dangle in front of you, Henrik, that's... He seems quite determined.
I think the poison might be the least of it.
Mm.
The skull that Egram was pretending to be was accompanying the cultists, which were what led Boniface here. And if Boniface had not been there to stop what they had been doing, it would be more than a few fires and a few holes in the side of Weisbrook.
Henrik, make me an intuition flat.
Gladly.
I'm kind of using this for memory of things as well.
Ooh, that is a fail. But I'm going to spend a point
Reroll or up?
for oh wait. No, that was yeah, it'll be a reroll.
Mhm.
One.
One success. You suddenly remember.
No, I rolled
What's it,
one.
Oh gosh. Okay, yes. You
0-1.
You clear as
Mind-
day. You
mind
remember.
palace.
You remember a conversation you had with the apprentices of Dr. Lederman, saying that at some point in the last month he had come into possession of a book about Nekara and the arts there. I think you actually saw the book as well, didn't you, when you went to his
Yes.
study? Yeah. And that just kind of sticks in your head. Suddenly, old man, perhaps his health is failing. He comes out of nowhere to a book that talks about eternal life.
And that is enough to get Gustav's interest. I'm working for Gustav. Perhaps it would be quicker and safer for others if we were to seek this Egram out. Anyway, I think that's probably all we can do here.
I would like to ask each of you if there's anything else you would like to do in Weisbrook. I know Okri and Henrik may have things they want to do from brief discussions backstage. And
I definitely want to check out Ogri's Forge because I haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah, I
Okri
think
with his thing. So
I think we'll both head back to the forge, see Turg.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's do Okri and Boniface first then. So, you find Turg the ogre not sleeping out the forge, actually. Turg is busy, hammering a stake into one of the poles, which got knocked slightly ajar out the front of the, supporting the kind of awning roof at the front of the smithy up. But otherwise, your smithy is more or less untouched. Turg hasn't noticed you when you arrive.
Turg.
Oh, hey, you all right, Master Okri? And
Yeah.
the little human.
Boniface, have you met Turg?
No. Hello, Turg.
Turg, Boniface.
Turg stands up. Turg is about 9.5 feet tall, and their hand is their forearm is about as thick as Boniface's body, and their hand extends towards you.
I'll shake his hand.
Yeah, hand shaken. You shake a bit as well, but they don't crush you or anything.
That's quite a shake you've got there, Turg.
I could tell you some stories about that. Yeah.
Really?
No, better not.
Looking good here, Turg.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. The rest of the town's looking a bit rough, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I may need to leave town for a short while. But I'm keen to help out the town. So while I'm gone, don't worry too much about money. If anybody needs anything from the forge, then...
Are you sure? All right.
This is where I'm making my home, so it's important that I do my part to help everything back on its feet.
We should. Well, I'll tell you what. How about and Turg wanders tromps into the round the back of the smithy, and then comes back with just a big barrel of
poison?
just kind of old big barrel of poison, just kind of old nails that have been salvaged and some various rough tools, and goes, how about we we take this into town square and tell everyone. Maybe it'll look good, and you can go off and do your business, and people else will know. They might not listen much to me if I tell them.
Not a bad idea.
Turks up.
Boniface, would you like to join us, or?
No, of course.
I want to hear how Okri speaks to the town.
So are we in the town centre now and Turg's dropped the barrel?
It's like a minute later. Turg drops the barrel. Turg drops the barrel and goes, "You want me to yell, get everyone's attention, boss? I can yell loud."
No, it's fine.
Oh. Like 2 people look over.
Is there anything like the equivalent of what would be like a street lamp kind of basically something metal I can hit with my axe to clang?
Yeah, I'd say there's like I think there'd be an old bell in the town centre actually.
Oh, great! So yeah, basically with the side of my axe, I'll hit this a few times until I've got some people's attention.
Love it. You now have a group of people's attention. It's not like there's a crowd gathered, but people are looking at you from the things they were doing.
And I'll go and stand between Turg and Boniface, and say, "There's a barrel of nails and such here. If anybody needs things for rebuilding, and if heavy things need lifting to put back in place, Turg here will help." And I'll turn and walk off.
People just look at each other. You hear some muttering, and someone shrugs and then walks over and grabs a hammer and goes, "Thanks," and then wanders back off. And that's about all the response you get.
That's fine. Why
don't you tell us about Okri's leveling for this totally related scene?
Sure. So I went up to the artisan level 3. So as part of doing that, I upped my stealth urban and my willpower. So my willpower has gone from 51 to 61.
Very nice.
Which is good because that ups my cool, which that's one of my career skills. So that's now 71 if I have to make a cool roll, which is nice. And then I upped my strength a little bit, and I've also put at my next leveling up into level 3, it's intelligence that I have to increase. So I've put that up by 10, so now they're sort of on a level. And I also put a second level in my magic resistance talent.
Nice.
So that means the success level of any spell, which cost me 200 XP, because it's 100 plus every level you've already taken is another 100, isn't it? So the success level of any spell affecting you is reduced by 2 per point you have in this talent.
Nice. That's
so 4 success levels come off any magic that's fired at me.
That's huge. Remind me of that.
But I've had magic used on me and mostly managed to brush it away. So I'm kind of like, that's that's my reason for doing that.
Yeah. That seems very useful. No doubt about it.
Especially now that Boniface has that other spell. Resist.
I still remember you.
I just it's like embarrassing, and I'm like, you guys are not even going to remember this tomorrow. Trust me.
Okri resist. By the way, the magic resist is something I think only dwarves can take because they have an innate physical magic resist, which can be upgraded in the system, which is quite cool. Justin, you want to mention that when you put in chat? It's kind of something for.
Sorry, yeah. So my previous long-term goal was register as a mage, and then we decided that was not long-term enough. So we changed it to get mage license, which has been the 2 campaign arc, which I've now done. Which means I need a new long-term goal, which isn't just survive. So, because otherwise I'd be put to the stage.
This is the last episode of the story, so you're all good. Long-term can be decided between arcs.
That's true. So now I have. So I get the long-term ambition for that, which is 500 XP, which is a healthy boost to XP. I can tell you.
Good. Yeah. Oof. Perfect. Okay. Henrik, I feel like there's somewhere you might want to go now.
Yes. I, with my tongue, like feeling coming back, but still slightly tingling.
Amazing.
Henrik has realized that his skills are a little bit asymmetric. So he is going to go to the apprentices in the prison.
Yep, absolutely. They are still exactly where you put them. Talther is there. He is nursing a drink. He nods to you. I think he's like, he doesn't seem particularly in the mood for talking, to be honest. So unless you approach him, he'll probably just let you do what you want to do. He'll leave you to it.
I will double check with him at this point that he is happy for us to sell on, to dispose of, I'll put it that way, to dispose of the Black Lotus.
Well, it definitely wasn't the first direct, right?
Not the main family.
I don't think anyone wants it then. So I certainly don't fancy 8 barrels of poison hanging around in my town. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You talking to them?
If I can have some time.
The apprentices or the widow?
The apprentices.
Yeah. Go for it. I've talked to them myself a bit. Seems like they were a bit caught up in this, to be honest. But it's not me to decide. It'll be that Inquisitor when he gets here.
Yes.
Keep him in for now. As it's locked up.
Right.
Just in case you were about to ask for the key to talk to them or something.
No. But are you happy for me to pass things through the bars?
No problem. Just nothing they're going to stab you with or try and escape with.
I will go to the apprentices. Because one of them was quite injured.
Yeah, he's awake now for more or less the first time since you saw him injured. He seems to be recovering a bit. He's not standing up; he's still laying down. And in fact, when you come in, the woman is asleep. He looks up at you and goes, "Yeah, you were the one who found out what was going on in a garden of moor, right?"
One of them.
You want to talk to her?
Both of you.
He'll nudge her. She goes, "Huh? Oh, hello."
When our colleague Gustav Weil was stabbed, the two of you performed admirably in saving him. With my antitoxin kit,
Yes.
which I shamefully do not know how to use.
Oh,
I have
deal
studied
with it.
the
See
art
where
of
this is going.
poison. I know what they can do. I do not know how to stop it.
You know, I never thought I'd be teaching someone medicine from behind bars. Come, give me the kit and I'll show you what each element does.
And I will pass them through the bars.
Now, we agreed you would make a roll for this, didn't we, John? Because this
Yes.
is outside of your typical skills. Now, it's quite powerful in this system to be able to gain skills outside of your normal set. So I want to put it to the group that will either have the nice option where you roll and either can or can't spend XP on this, or we have the mean option where you spend XP, roll, and then if you fail your roll, you don't get anything.
Wow,
I'm just saying it because ordinarily you could never take skills outside of your normal arc. That's why the mean
What has
option-
John done for me lately?
No. The book
How much?
says that you can, if you have a teacher, and spend twice the amount of XP.
Is that what
Okay.
you're doing?
Well, in that case, you found a section that I hadn't read recently, so
Okay.
I
I am also
I do
happy to roll for
recall
it to
some.
see how well I do. I'm
Yeah.
intending, like, in my list, I have planned to take 5 levels.
Mhm.
but I'm happy to roll badly and take less.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. You could take. Okay, that's fine. You could. Yeah, more or less depending how you roll. Let's see how you do. I think it's probably going to be. I mean, how are you? You're persuading them kind of basically by asking nicely. So probably a more friendly social role would make sense to me rather than intimidating one.
Oh god, I have just put points in charm, but
There you go.
that's
Well, it was going to be a +20 roll, which you might like.
Okay, yes.
Because you have no particular reason for this to be harder.
Yeah. So +20, target 57.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
And I rolled 40.
Perfect. So in that case, you can gain 6 for 1 extra success level in healing.
Yes, I'll go for that.
Oh, I see. You're looking at spending extra XP. 6.
Yeah, but no, I'm happy to do that. I just need to look up what the number is.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Cool.
Excellent.
Did you want to do anything else while you were here, or is that you good with the apprentice healers?
I think that's me good.
Cool. Okay. The rest of the day, and I don't get the impression anyone else has anything they're burning to do right now. So the rest of the day passes quietly. You probably kind of rest up a bit, relax, have some nice meals, maybe meet up again for lunch. Mid-afternoon, perhaps. Perhaps you're. I mean, I'm just saying something you might do as a group. Perhaps you've decided to head out to the clearing just to see if Wilma is still there at this point, out of curiosity. So you're a little bit out of town, or perhaps you're just having a wander. And you see a group of people heading towards town, and at the head is a rather large horse adorned in gilt gold. As they come closer, sat at the saddle, you see someone dressed in exquisite inquisitorial robes, and behind them is a troop of 20 well-armed soldiers, and then a small group of followers behind them. I think the Inquisitor male probably see you and nod towards Kruger and go, "This is Weisbrook, yes?"
I will nod and yes, return the affirmative.
Excellent. I am here to set things straight in this town. My name is Inquisitor Salzenhar. And we will end the story there.
Oh.
Record
They're at a
scratch.
distance. You haven't had a chance to see their face yet.
It's probably not a good thing. It probably was right not to set the short-term goal for the party. Find the Salzenars.
I saw that in the chat. And I was like,
Ping.
I mean, you say we haven't seen his face. Are you implying that it might just be a skull?
not quite. I wanted to leave it open that, hey, maybe it's Egrim, although the voice didn't sound like it.
Wow.
Well,
Right.
Love a good cliffhanger ending for a campaign.
It's great. This definitely isn't going to get pinned on us in any way.
Oh, now we've taken ownership of the 8 barrels of poison. That's not good.
What makes you think it could possibly get pinned on you? There's
You know what?
nothing
A
to make
great
you
way.
suspicious.
A great way for Egrim to get us all to go to Altdorf is if he sends one of his family members to arrest us all.
Cool.
So yeah, thank you very much, folks, for watching this series Warhammer. I think it's been set 13 episodes again. There will definitely be a break. We're not sure how long a break there will be, but I am sure we shall return to Warhammer because it is too much fun. And I think everyone else will agree they're having fun too. I'm having fun.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Good. I am glad. And I feel like the characters are getting interesting and enjoyable with their twists and weaves, or if you're in the case of Opry, just going real hard down that smithy route.
Real hard down the smithy route and saying as little as possible.
I had to put you in that place with go and announce this to the town, then it was too tempting.
That's fine. Like, I'm sure Boniface would have done it. Turg offered. but no,
Mhm.
Okri
Okri
will.
had-
He'll say exactly as much as needs to be said.
Perfect. Yeah, cool. Do we have any comments or questions or anything to bring up? I think, was there a thanks for someone as well that I spotted in the chat?
Yes, there was.
Night Bites. Thank you, Night Bites, for the resub. 42. Poison is for getting rid of pests, and those people are pesky. Yes. People are indeed pesky. That is true. People can be quite pesky.
That's we got. Did also like this one.
Honesty box. I know. I love Okri's little speech. Just like, now you're going to mind the forge for me. It's all right if you need to do some things for the town. It's cute, Jonny.
He's a
and then we
caring
also-
dwarf, really.
Oh yeah, I love how I really like playing ogres because ogres are they're not stupid, but they're just quite simple in they're just direct. So it's like you can kind of actually trust an ogre with that sort of thing quite implicitly because it's like they have no reason to want to lie or cheat from you really, unless they're hungry.
We also have a thank you to Ozzy the Terrible, who followed us.
Thank you.
And also Shattergut the Black, who actually followed us 5 days ago, but I think we forgot that was either Simbroom or Yellow King Day, and we were running late.
I see.
So if you're also watching this, thank you. And sorry we missed you at the time.
Indeed. Thank you very much. So we're already past 10, so I won't hold us up too much longer. Does anyone have any burning things they want to say about that? I think we might do a round table at some point. So.
That was good.
It was fun.
I'm suddenly a much more powerful wizard. It's funny what 1,000 XP of spending will do.
Yeah,
it was a lot of XP. Yeah.
I can only imagine there's going to be peak chaos in the next arc.
A lot better is not good. It's still a bad wizard.
Did everyone enjoy their scenes? John didn't have the biggest of scenes there, but I thought I quite enjoed all of those little scenes for the characters. They fitted in.
Yeah.
Really. Justin's mad.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So the only reason I actually ended up picking Noble
It's for one talent.
is for one talent.
Yeah.
Because I was like, everybody else has read and write. This is ridiculous. But then it made sense because of going back, Boniface kind of thinking that Kruger was a noble, and the fact that Kruger started off with a noble blood.
Are you saying that I wished it into existence?
It was a fun plot line too. When you suggested to me a while ago back in the original, and I thought it was really fun to kind of nip into noble, not for a long-term stay potentially, just as a kind of Kruger rediscovering that element. Yeah, I think it was quite fun how it played out.
And you had the noble blood.
Yeah. So it all kind of makes sense. But yes, it was only just for read and write. That's what started.
That's perfectly reasonable.
I went through all of the damn rule books looking for pathways through the careers that made sense.
I have been trying to get to a rank where I can learn blather, which is like the most important skill for Boniface to learn. And has been for the next level of wizard. When I get to master wizard of Shadow Monsters, I can learn blather.
Yeah.
The career system is interesting.
It is funky. It's cool.
It puts restrictions on you, but those restrictions lead to interesting stories.
Yeah, it does. But it can be irritating, no doubt.
I also like the current level of wizard I'm on. The Shadow Monsters don't just have language specific; they have language any. So I'm like, I can put 1 point into 8 different languages.
Yeah.
And I suddenly have 8 different languages. It's very gamey, and I'm like, I could learn anything I freaking want.
That's so gamey.
That is so good. But I'm definitely gonna learn a few. I'm definitely gonna learn Kazalid. I'm definitely gonna learn classical, because that's.
And now
that's
you're
good.
Estalian.
Estalian. That's exactly what's happening. I was like, I'll learn Bretonian, but then I realized Kruger doesn't speak Bretonian because I was like, it'd be nice to speak Kruger's language. I'm like, Wastelander. Nah.
It was. I think. Yeah. I'll need to remember how I think at the time I had a choice between Bretonian and Wastelander, And I figured that Wastelander
I think
was
mid-
closer
I
to
think
The main
I
language of
think-
Midland
yeah,
is
it was,
Imperial.
yeah.
It's Imperial. Wastelander is kind of the border regions next to Midland.
I was looking at
Midheim and
it.
Midland speak Imperial as a primary language, so that
It
that's
looks
your
like there's
native.
some history there with Wastelander stuff in Midland. So maybe it's a
Wastelanders
kind of
to the direct west of.
West, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like the realm of.
If we go back and watch the character creation, I'm sure it will all make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe not. I had to do. It's because I know next to nothing about this whole,
Yeah, it's all good.
the whole world of lore. So a lot of it was fevered Googling, probably after the event, and retrofitting.
Yeah,
But putting 1 point into Grumbrath, the ogre language, that's got to be valuable, right? Like just even if it's just 1 point.
Is that just like hello or don't eat me or
like
But
one of the nice things about doing Warhammer, Steve, you're saying about the lore is there's no lore sticklers Warhammer because it's just so you can make stuff up and it's now lore. It's fine. Like it's not that you're playing Tolkien or something at least.
we did just encounter a traveling celebrity Italian chef who's also a wizard.
Exactly. Can you get more mad than what is actually canon? Oh gosh. Anyway, it's already getting a bit later, so I think I'll wrap up there, folks. I hope everyone who was watching enjoyed this series. I certainly did. It definitely got a bit chaotic at times, both from a player perspective and also maybe just from a GM perspective, maybe at times. But it always does when I run things. Yeah, that was a really fun campaign, and I can't wait when we come back to it. I've got some excellent new plans for our third arc, and I promise I'll let you sleep as well. Lesson learned. So yeah, we are Telling Tales. Please check out other stuff we do. We stream on Twitch and YouTube. Next is going to be Simba Room on Wednesday. Then I think it's the following week after that. It's going to be Nothing on Monday, Simba Room the following Wednesday, and then Yellow King on the Thursday. And then on the Saturday is our one shot, which is
Cyborg.
Oh, we're preparing Cyborg number 2. Yes, I can watch that. That was really popular last time. So yeah. And soon Jonny will be starting our new Call of Cthulhu arc, which everyone is very excited for. We've now created our characters. So that's towards the end of the month, or taking over the Monday slot weekly. So get ready for that. Yeah, that's us. Check all our links below. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Take care and have a good rest of your evening.